The opioid crisis has truly become a national epidemic. With 64,000 deaths last year, drug overdoses now kill more people than guns, cars, or falls. Deaths related to fentanyl abuse has skyrocketed to the top of all drug overdoses. In Arizona alone, nearly 800 people died of opioid overdose in 2016. Governor Doug Ducey recently declared a state emergency over the crisis. Western Journalism sat down with State Representative Heather Carter, the chairwoman of the House Health Committee, and discussed her work to combat the epidemic.
Well, I think Arizona, like many states, we are facing a true crisis around opiate addiction and, unfortunately, deaths related to opiate overdose. So some of the work that we've done in Arizona surrounds the use of an opiate antagonist, which is a drug that actually reverses an opiate overdose.
State Representative Carter detailed her own legislation meant to combat the crisis in Arizona.
I've run 3 different pieces of legislation related to an opiate antagonist to try and help in the crisis of deaths related to opiate abuse. We've also done some legislation to try and bring about awareness around substance abuse issues. Another piece of legislation that I've worked on is increasing funding to educate our youth in school on the crisis that we face today and how hopefully they can make better decisions moving forward and saying no to drugs.
Carter addressed the main cause of the crisis: supply from prescription medications. Common sense laws are needed to prevent prescription drugs from turning patients into addicts.
The other side of the equation related to substance abuse and the supply side is this idea of overprescribing. And so what we're really trying to do in Arizona is work with our stakeholders in the medical profession and put common sense solutions in place. For example, we need people to be educated that the drugs that they may be receiving following a surgery, for example, have a very narrow targeted use, 3 to 5 days after surgery. But research shows that even on that 6th day, actually a person is more statistically likely to become addicted to that medication.
While so much more is needed to be done, Carter explained why Governor Ducey's decision to declare a state emergency was a great step in the right direction.
I think it's really important that states like Arizona took that step to declare this a public health emergency, because that's what's going to enable us to gather data in real time to make the best decisions possible. Now that it's declared a public health emergency, we get data in real time. And the data that we are receiving back is truly shocking. Prior to it being a public health emergency, we wouldn't receive this information until the end of the year.
Jason Hopkins, reporting for Western Journalism.